Hello everyone. This is Mrs. Hogue. I'm so excited for y'all to be watching this and learning more about how ClassKick can be used inside of your classroom. This video right here is just going to be me kind of showing you what I do to create my note packets inside of ClassKick and how I just keep things organized for myself and how things work. So I really hope this helps just to kind of help you get kind of a background of exactly what I do in my classroom. So starting off, the first thing is you'll notice that I just have two folders right now. So the good thing is ClassKick this year made to where teachers could have multiple folders, and it made me so excited about that because last year we only could have one folder. So now I can have multiple folders, which means I can just split them up into my school years, which is great. So here I'm going to go into foundations right here because we're actually about to start unit 2 inside the foundations class. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. You will notice that I have two folders here because our unit 2 is actually split up into two parts. So I have not uploaded yet our very first part. So that's the first part of this video I wanted to do, was show you exactly how to upload your upload a file. So starting off up here in the top right hand corner, you will see that you have 4 different things. You have the new blank assignment where you can just create your own create your own ClassKick. You can create from a file, which is what I'm about to do, is just a file, a PDF file, which I create from. You can browse assignment libraries. So those are where you can find examples of different types of lessons that have already been created. And then you can also do creating your folder. That's where also you go to create a folder. So again, I'm going to go ahead and create from a file. And you'll see that my file comes open. And of course, you know, I got all kinds of stuff in here. So I'm going to go into my foundations class. And then right here, and we are in Unit 2A, and there is my notes packet. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up right here. I've already made it to where I'm going to take all this. There are some pages that I do want to delete, but I can always go back and delete them later, which is fine. It's not, because some of these, there are some quizzes in this, and I don't want to put those in there. So excuse me, guys. I am kind of fighting a sinus infection right now. So I will be coughing quite a few. I'm so sorry. All right, so here we go. So I just uploaded. That means it's finished. It's uploaded all these pages. Again, you do not have to, you of course could do this in other ways, but I use ClassKick for my asynchronous lessons. So the students are going in and doing these notes on their own prior to class. And then we're taking time in class to do the homework problems, which are also in this notes packet. So just know that. So while we wait loading, a little bit more about what I do, how are the kids getting the notes? Well, what they are doing is they are actually uploading, they actually watch a video of me personally filling out the notes myself. So let's see what's going on. Up there it goes. So let's see, there it is. Let's check, and there it is. All of the pages are in there. Sometimes, guys, you have to close it and open it back up for it to work. It's just one of those fun things that you have to do, right? And I can see it did not get one of the things, it looks like. So what we're going to do is I'm actually about to show you, this is, if this happens, what you can do. So let me show you what I do if something like this happens so I don't have to redo it all. So I'm glad that kind of actually happened. So you can actually add a page in there based out of just by making it a background. So you'll see here that I have all kinds of stuff inside my background folder. And down here at the bottom, you can actually import something from your computer to be a background. So again, I saw that the last homework is actually not in there. So I'm going to go to this lesson right here, which is the lesson, and that's the last homework. And I'm just going to hit next. and then it's going to appear on this page right here. And so then I didn't have to go back and upload the entire document again, because usually it doesn't do that, but I guess it read my mind and it wanted me to go back and show y'all how to do that cool feature. So yeah, so that's the good thing. But now you will see that we have all of our stuff in here. The difference between the background of doing that is if I cannot move the background. That's the difference. Whereas over in my other slides, I can actually move the page around. So that's the difference in those. Okay. You can definitely name your assignment. So like this is my unit 2A notes packet. Notes, I'll probably put in, so solving one variable equations. And I'm going to name it like that. And then what you can also do is you can put in a description. I never really put in a description, but I do make it to where I can share it with my colleagues, and I do put in the grade levels that I'm teaching, and then also my algebra is my subject. So I do put those things in there so that if anyone ever wants to find something on this, they can. I can put in the description. I just won't right now because it'll probably be a little bit longer. So yeah, so that is how you would upload an assignment in. Now, what else I do is going in here. I also go through here and I actually make my notes more like a fill in the blank style sometimes, or even depending on if there's writing involved, which you'll see in a moment, because up here they are going to have to write or type. So instead of me making them write it all out, I actually do make it fill in the blanks. So that they can go through and fill in the blanks. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a moment so I can pull up what I need. All right, guys, so I have exactly what I need. So now I'm actually going to start creating this and how I want what their notes to look like. So starting off, this right here is the text box button. I'm going to first just type in the number 1 right here. And one thing you will notice about me, guys, if you have not, I'm actually absolutely love the colors pink and blue. So most of my notes are in those colors. So I'm sorry if you're not a big fan of those, but that is just how I am. So step 1, I would put in here, and then they would only see just the number 1. They wouldn't be able to do anything with that text box. And then right here is where I would actually put in a fill in the blank. So you will notice up here that we have 3 different assessment tools. We have where you can add manipulatives, where they can drag and drop stuff. You also have, which is my personal favorite, the add fill in the blank. And then we even have multiple choice. So adding the fill in and blank tool is just where they're able, and they fill this in and it grades it for you. So you don't have to go back and look. The only thing is you do have to make sure that they are typing it correctly. So the very first step that I would want them to do is they would put in the word distribute. And I, again, would be going over this lesson for them. Also, what I like about it is you can set points. Normally, all of my green boxes are only a quarter of a point, because these points get really, really high. And so I only make them really low because the notes become a lot of points. So that's what they would put in here. And then I would put next to this, just so that they know that this another text box, so that they know that this may not always happen. They only do that if it is necessary. So, but that would be their very first step that they would need to do if that was there. And then I would go on and I would put in the second step, which is to combine their like terms. So the way I would do that is, for this second step, I would actually type in combine, or actually I want them to tell me what they're going to do with like terms. So I'm going to put a line like this, which is where the fill in the blank is going to go. And then I'm going to have combine and then like terms. And that's where, and now what I will do is I will now put another fill in the blank box on above that line so that they know, okay, we need to fill in that box. So right here. And again, that would be the word combine. Now, the good thing about ClassKick, you'll notice that I capitalize the C in my answer. It does not make them with capitals. If they were to put a lowercase c, it would still give them the point for it. So you don't have to do that. The only time really that you would have to really change your wording is if you have spaces. That's really where things can kind of get a little bit tricky. But if you train your students, like I have a little bit, about how your spaces you want it to be, they kind of tend to get it. But also me going through the lessons, they kind of see how much space I'm putting in between stuff. So that's also the good thing. So then the last step that I would do, which I would give to them, is on this one is just to solve, and I'll actually not have them fill that in. I will type that myself because it's just one word. And again, and so that's our favorite word in math is to solve. I'm just kidding. I'm sure a lot of y'all are like, oh, yay, math lesson. So yeah, and so then that would be the third and final step that I would put right up here. Come on, there it goes. All right. And so now what I would do is with my students, you'll notice in these inside of these lessons. So like this very first one is numbers 1 through 5, and then we have 1 through 10, or then all the way up through 10. So what I do is I do not make my students do all of the examples. What I do is I actually go through and I do the odds myself on my page, on like this page, but then require them to do the evens. They're going to follow along with me and do the even problems in the videos that I give them. So you will see that I'm not going to put a fill in the blank in number 1, but I will put one in number 2. And all I do is I just again put it down here in the bottom right hand corner, and so that they have enough room to kind of do their work. The students are allowed to either do their work on inside ClassKick, but the one downfall about using ClassKick on the computer, especially with math, is it's very hard to write with the pen tool up here, with the pen tool using your mouse. Okay. So, and a lot of times my students will get frustrated, but what I end up having them do is I actually have them tell them that the best place to do it is on paper. So what I do, and I'll just use this as an example, it will not stay there, of course. I have my, I just have my planner, and I'm going to take a picture of my planner to show y'all how this works. So so what they do is they're supposed to fill it, take the notes, write them down on paper, write this example on paper, and then what they would do is they would then take a picture of the piece of paper. Actually, I have my other notebook right here. It's blank right now, but it's okay. All right, and so it's a blank piece of paper that I have here. So what they would do is they would come up here to this camera button, and you'll see right there where it says add image. The students have the option whether if they want to upload it from their computer or hit the camera button. This is the thing. I have a lot of students that are like, do you want me to email you the picture? And I'm like, well, you really don't have to email it to me, because if it's already uploaded to your computer, just put it in a ClassKick. So I do not accept, so my students do not email me the pictures, but the easiest way is if their camera works on their computer, which a lot of our students will tell us it doesn't work, but then it's funny because you can tell if they take a picture with their camera on their computer or with their phone. And so those students that say, oh, my camera doesn't work, but then they take a picture on their computer, it's like, sure it doesn't work. And you kind of catch them in that lie a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I always use the camera. So I'm going to push the camera. I'm going to go ahead and hide my face a little bit. And you'll see the camera is going to pop open and you'll see, hey, looky there. There is Mrs. Hoag's piece of paper. Now, again, what I can do is I can actually write on it. So let's say I want to write a problem out. So, for instance, for this problem, we'll do it real quick. I'll write it real quick out so that y'all can see what I am doing here. Excuse me again, as y'all are watching me, I look like a mess right now. I'm just kidding. So, and then subtract 7. I'm just showing what the way this would be worked out. Now, again, guys, right now I'm looking at the answer key. Normally, I do not look at the answer key. I promise I actually do the problems in my own way, but I'm just using what they have because it's open. So, and then I would end up with that A is equal to -4. All right. And so now I'm going to put this up and you'll see right there. Let me actually turn off this light. There we go. All right. So now you can see it better. All right. So here you will see right there. And also, guys, sorry for the background. We are in a hotel this week. So, yeah. So there you will see plain as day my work. And what I do is I just capture it. I tell them to capture it, holding it up. You can't even see me in the background at all, hardly, other than that you might see my hand in a moment. So, but it sits there, it uploads, and there it is. Now, this whole thing of, oh my gosh, it's over the entire document. A lot of my students are like, but all you do is you just move it and have them make it small. And they can actually make it actually pretty small, guys, because you'll notice, and this is my other favorite tool, is zooming in. So if I zoom in on a student's work, you'll see right there that I can zoom in far enough that I can see that work plain as day. I can see, so if they missed the answer on any type of homework problem, I can go look and see and find their misconceptions of why they missed the answer. And so that is just one of the hugest glories of ClassKick that I love, again, because I can actually see what they're doing. And a lot of times in our virtual world, we can't see what they're doing. So, and that's one thing, like I said, that I love. So again, that is what's required of them. Normally, of course, I'm using my iPad to write out the work on my videos, but they can use this option, which is the better option too, if they do not have a tablet or anything, which most of our students do not. I'm going to actually stop right there with it. Because that's pretty much what all that is. It's just of me just creating. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to assign it. So I'm just going to actually assign it to one of my classes that I use that I created that just has me in it as the student. So if I want to assign this, what I would do is I would go up to here and I would click assign a roster. I'm going to click on my fill-in notes. That's actually the one that I use to create my YouTube videos. So here you'll notice in here that there's 4 different options. You can click the grades button and that will show the students their grade. If you don't want them to see whether they got the right answer or not, you can turn that off. I keep it on because I want them to see that they do have the right answer. Helpers, what this allows is if a student raises their hand inside of the ClassKick saying that they are done, students can move to other students' work and help them. But a lot of people, if you're using this as an assessment tool, you probably do not want to do that unless you have group activities. But it's a great group activity type of thing. Hiding. So one thing that students will say towards the end is that there's a lot of different things that are open that they have underneath their portfolio. And what stinks right now is the only folders that students have access to. They only have one folder, and that's your teacher's folders. So if they have different teachers that use ClassKick, they only have a folder for that teacher. So when they open up that folder, it shows them all of those assignments, and it can be kind of overwhelming. So when you get away from some of these, it's probably best to hide them, especially if you use your ClassKick assignments as participation grades. You students after a certain amount of time should not be able to go back and finish and complete those participation grades. So again, so you can hide them, but then you can also lock them, so then you can have them created and students can go ahead and look at it, but they can't do anything in the actual assignment itself. Usually I just put grades. I don't hide it unless it does become way too much. But with my students, they're not going to have as many assignments because, again, I'm making these unit notes assignments instead of lesson one notes, lesson two notes. They're all the notes in a unit are in one. So and then once you do that, you can then also go to view work. This is where you can kind of see, like this here, you'll see that this student has not opened it at all. That's me. It is gray. So if it's not opened at all, it will just be gray like this. I will also show you, let me show you some from this year of what we got so far. So from unit one, let me think of a good student. Yeah, this would be a good one. All right, so this is the unit that we're about to finish up right now in my semester foundations. So going over and viewing work, of course, you are going to have students who are not going to do it. So, but this is the thing. Let me first turn off the names. So I'm going to make these anonymous. So I can change my names and change them to hide students. Come on. If it does it, it's supposed to do it. Look at that. It doesn't want to do it for me. Let me go back. It's okay. I'll get you some more in a minute. Sorry, guys. That's my 2-year-old. So again, I'm going to go back, view work. Let's see if now I can put it as anonymous as it loads. No. Come on. All right, everyone. So you'll notice that I went in and I changed all of my names to anonymous so that y'all don't know who's actually doing their work and who isn't and who is. So you'll notice here how some of them some of them are doing their work definitely. You'll notice some of them who actually are taking pictures of their work. One thing I like about this is this filters button. If I want to, I can filter it out. And I can take out, okay, hide students who have not started it at all, and I can just focus on that. But then whenever I'm in class, this is the filter that I use the most, is hiding students who are offline. So these are the students who are right now inside ClassKick. The reason why I use this filter a lot is because those are the students that are in class at that time that I want inside of ClassKick. Because again, we are in ClassKick all the time. Again, there's your options again, all those settings, which you can also get to in the assignment part. So looking right now at these, let's see if I can find a good one, if any of them are on. There's that yellow hand right there. So here's a student who has a yellow hand up. So let's see what they're saying. The good thing about this can get automatic feedback. So I don't really understand these. So this is where I can definitely take this student, pull them out, and talk with them and say, okay, what's going on? What are we not understanding? Are we watching the video? And I actually already pulled this student out already. And we talked about that. And it was, she couldn't remember how to get to the videos, accessing the videos. Looking at more, there's another one right here that I can look at. You'll see that some students, they'll even raise their green hand, letting me know that they are done. That's that hand raising automatic feedback that I can get from them, and I can give it back to them for the feedback. Let's see if I can find anyone else. I'm trying to find the one that, without having to show names, that I'm looking for. Because I'm going to show you where one student does everything on paper. Here we go. Here's one right here. So here's this student, devoted dog. Here's where they have some paper on, I think, on this page, unless it changed to a different person. And I just clicked on a person that doesn't have paper, because sometimes it takes a little bit. That's the only thing sometimes, guys, is it can get bogged down. whenever it comes to the paper. So there we have that page. So it wasn't them. Where is the student that has? Oh, they're right here. Here we go. All right, so here's this student who has not started on their homework yet, but is showing their work. Here we go. This is a good one right here. So this is their homework right here. I haven't gone through and graded these yet, but there I can really look and see whether what the student is actually writing down. So I can zoom in and really see what they're having to say. So right there, looky there. I can read that plain as day. Um, I do not need glasses. I'm only deaf. So right there, it says a maximum number of 30. So I can see where they are going through. The difference of a number and 7, there it is, which is n minus 7. So they're showing me what they see and they're showing me their work. Love it. Love, love, love. So again, that's the good thing about all these. There's another student who's still working on theirs. So if I open up this, they're showing me their work. This student is actually going through and doing problems that they don't have to do, but I guess they're wanting to do more than not. Oh, I got to take those off. That's why. So I'll kind of make sure I take those off. So going through and getting again, I can see those plain as day. And if I couldn't, I could zoom into them. So I hope this kind of helped you see what I can do. The notes that I gave you was not the notes. You'll hopefully you're able to access the Google Slides that I have. That's just a brief overview of the different tools that you can use, so that you don't have to can always go back and watch this video. I hope this video kind of helped you see what I do in class and how I'm using ClassKick in my class every single day. If you have any questions at all, please send me, reach out to me on Teams or anywhere, and I'll be glad to help you in any way that I can, okay? Thank y'all so much for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.